Frank, we're here for the announcement of Derek Chisora's 49th and final in the UK. Looking back across all the fighters you've worked with, how interesting has it been working with Derek Chisora over the years?
Well, we've had our ups and downs, but whatever you want to think, well, whatever I want to think or anybody wants to think about it, you can't take away that Derek has always given 100% in the ring. Every time he gets in the ring, he fights. He's called war. And there's a reason for that, because he goes to war once that bell goes. Once that first bell goes, you know you're never going to get anything less than what he's got in him. He gives everything. Irrespective of the opponent, he gives everything.
And obviously you saw something in him way back in the sort of 2007-8 time, and he's proven that right. But did you ever think at that point that he'd have a career like he's had now, and he'd end up in this position as kind of one of the most loved heavyweights in the country?
Not at all, no, I've got to be honest, not at all. He fought for the British title very, very early in his career, if I'm right, about 10th fight, I think, or something like that. And he won that. And he's been in some big fights with us. I mean, you know, some really, really big fights. You know, when you think against, he's fought Tyson twice, he's fought Klitschko.
There was the cancelled Klitschko one as well.
Yeah, you know, and that was terrible the night before the fight. That was a dreadful situation. Then I've always felt like that fight, that when late Emmanuel Stewart come in and he see what was going on, I think he pulled him out. I do genuinely believe that. I mean, I'm not being rude about anybody, but I do think that was the case. And that fight he had with Klitschko, he gave Klitschko his toughest fight he had since he fought, I think it was, must have been a good 8-9 years before, against Lennox Lewis.
Yeah. And you mentioned up there that this is not just like he's going to fizzle out in his 50th. If he wins this, he's going in for a big fight.
Yeah, and that's it. He's got, you know, you want to get the 50, you got to win 49, and this will be a good fight. You know, I keep banging on about styles make fights, and it's the old adage and so forth, but they do. And these two guys, styles will gel. They'll gel because Derek's going to go and put it on him, and he's got to be at his best, Wallin. And at his best, he's not a bad fighter. So I think I know this is going to be a good fight. I can see it's going to be a good fight.
There was a lot of talk and rumours that it would be Jarrell Miller for this fight. Obviously, that hasn't happened. Do you think a big southpaw, Otto Wallin, is a tougher fight than Jarrell Miller for Derek Chisora?
This is a different style, and we will see. You know, that would have been a good fight. I think this one's a good fight as well. Derek can't be in a bad fight. You know, think about it. When you've seen him where he's been in a boring fight, whatever it is, you know, he, as I say, he's brave. He gives everything, and he's going to have to give everything. He's 41 years of age now, so for him, he knows his ambition is to get the 50 fights. To get the 50 fights, as I say, he's got to win this one.
And just in other heavyweight news, I'm sure you've seen this morning a report that Wladimir Klitschko had emerged as an option for Daniel Dubois. What can you tell us?
There was a very 5-minute conversation about that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
not from. I mean, it's a suggestion made, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. Would you be comfortable putting Wladimir Klitschko at his age in with Daniel Dubois at the moment?
It didn't happen. It was mentioned, and we've been working on something else during that time.
When will we can expect news on Daniel Dubois?
We'll do that after. Was it Thanksgiving? When's Thanksgiving?
Yeah, this week.
Yeah, after Thanksgiving, because we want to get it out in America as well.
Yeah, but February 22nd is correct, and a big fight for him, headliners. Yeah. And what's the score of Hamzah Sheeraz? He's obviously been. When?
You'll find out when we make the announcement.
Okay, and we expecting a world title fight for Hamzah?
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Yeah. And you didn't. The WBO route was not one you wanted to.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
So we're thinking next week, the next week or so for that news on that.
I would hope so next week. Yeah.
Okay, nice one, Frank. Appreciate it.